What's going on, guys? Kigerr here, and today I'm joined by one of my fellow clanmates, SackyChan. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
And I brought SackyChan on today to talk about Black Widow and Omega War. And as you see by the screen in front of us, he's currently leading the pack. You want to go ahead and show us by how much?
For Omega War, I'm up about just 300, not that much.
No, and let's check out the guy who's right behind you.
Spider-Man,
He's pretty built out. Omega cards, stuff like that.
yeah, three 6-star pieces, all 6-star badges.
Mm-hmm. So you're doing pretty well. So what we're going to look into is first we're going to check out Saki-chan's skills, see what is helping him get these scores, and what do you have for us?
This is my Omega War page. I have Training Assassin as a first skill,
Mm-hmm.
the quick step strike.
Yep. Anything you'd like to say
Usually,
about it before we go on to the next one?
this is like your most reliable damage skill. Usually use this to kill people or go in and out.
Yep. This is the skill that people hate the most on Widow, besides your ultimate. Next we have, it looks like Trap Deluge.
Yes, next we have Trap Deluge.
And you want to tell us about Trap Deluge?
Yeah, when a group of people are low enough, you could sneakily vanish into the middle of them and trap the loot, and you'll hit all of them at the same time for a
And
crit.
And for your friends, you want to keep track of how many you killed so you can go brag to them later, right?
Yes, especially Kigerr.
And then next, it looks like you have a kind of controversial one.
Yeah, the next one, I'm not quite sure if stamina recovery works or not in Omega War because it doesn't work in Dimension Duel.
Mm-hmm.
But I use Chemical Grenade because it does the most damage over time because it's poison damage,
Mm-hmm.
dot damage, and since I'm assuming it reduces their stamina recovery. So during every start of an Omega War, I just go into the middle and throw the skill out in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And next we have Widow's Wire Knee Dive.
And I use Knee Dive to gap close and possibly trap the Luge or train assassin depending on the situation. And I also use Knee Dive as like a escape tool where if I'm too deep into like their base area and then they have
Mm-hmm.
like three, four, five people chasing me, I'm running out and I'll look for like a fight somewhere else or towards the middle, then I'll need dive to like a different target to escape.
All right. And what you got last for us?
Last we have like the highest damage skill, which is concentrated fire,
Mm-hmm.
and we just use this as like a finishing touch or if you're alpha to the side or you vanish and people are low, you just pop this and they just
Has a bit of an animation, but it's a pretty quick animation, and the risk versus reward is a bunch of damage.
yeah.
And let's check out your specializations.
For specialization, you definitely need to have improvising because
Mm-hmm.
this decreases all your skills cooldown every time you use a espionage skill.
Yeah, we were talking off screen, and you're not even using the what you believe or what I believe is the optimal actives. You're just doing like a catch-all, like these are the ones I want in all my game modes, right?
Yeah, because if you want to strictly go for PvP, this is definitely better because you use Train Assassin all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
this will give you an increase in damage of 29% for 10 seconds. But I
Mm-hmm.
opted for custom tactics instead because I could use this in PvE, Dimension Duel, and sometimes Omega War. But
If they're by themselves, yep. So you have espionage, the espionage device one, custom tactics. What else you got for us?
I also use Secret Spy because this decreases the damage you take. And
From all
in Omega War, you're
enemies.
surrounded by a lot of people, and this trait will help you survive.
As long as you get onto your next trained assassin, right?
Yes.
And your last one, receiving
The
intel.
last one I have is receiving intel. So my thought process was that custom tactics will go off all the time in like PvE, Dimension Duel, and when they're low enough for 50%, it'll stack with this. So you'll do like a total of like
You'll get both at the same
46%.
time.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And what if we're not doing catch-all? You said we're still
If
using the
not,
espionage device one, or
yeah,
the top.
definitely espionage, secretive spy. I would opt for receiving intel and sharp mind over custom
All
tactics.
right, any that people can play around with if it doesn't fit their playstyle.
If you want more crit damage or more damage, you could use this Fatal Strike.
Mm-hmm.
This will increase your cap.
So the current cap is 300%. This will let you get at max level 350%, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
If you're going in with a group, you can use subdue in the top left. Because if you have a guy that you're going in with that can reliably put down bleeds or any kind of effects, that's 30% just off the top.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem that reliable, so I just opted out of using that.
By yourself, it's not that great, but in a group, it's amazing. Let's go
Yeah.
on to your mega cards.
So for Omega cards, I'm running two sets of 11, two sets of 2 Captain Marvel and Loki.
Okay. We can obviously see the reason why you did the 2 set 11 because they both do crit damage. The 2 set 2 is for the attack bonus. The set Captain Marvel is obvious as PvP damage increase, and the
Yeah,
vote for
this
Loki is crit damage.
yeah, Loki for crit damage, and I would recommend people try to go for a PvP damage decrease in their
As your
exclusive
exclusive.
stat. Yeah, because you can only get this stat in a special card, and then you try to get like a PvP damage increase on your bonus stat,
On
like
your
this
regular
one.
roll. Because even though it takes a whole nother 6-star card, you can still do that. You can't roll and get the exclusive changed. Now, this
Yes.
is the ones you have. What would you recommend?
Uh, I would recommend ideally to have the Dark Zone 4, Spider-Man, and Black Widow for the
Mm-hmm.
attack bonus.
A bunch of damage.
Yeah. In Dark Zone 5, Storm and Captain Marvel are like bread and butter. One for damage increase, one for damage decrease.
Mm-hmm. So we got Captain Marvel in set 12, Storm in set 7.
And then
Uh,
for the last
yep.
two, I would definitely recommend like Loki and Thor because Loki gives a very high crit damage.
Specifically, Thor God of Thunder 2012, number
Yes.
13. Because that one gives attack, whereas the other Thor cards give HP or defense.
Yep. And those are stats you don't really want on Black Widow.
And so the Loki card gives crit damage as well as the set bonus is crit damage.
Yep.
So that's your 6. Now, what about if people can't get these special cards?
You can't get these special cards. I used McGuardia 4 for the longest time because you could farm these in game with the Loki boss. And I would use maybe like a set 8 because it gives dodge,
Mm-hmm.
like a 2 set 8. You get dodge rate, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best stats in the game.
One that I recommend all the time is set 5. So if we check out set 5, the crossbones, the second from the left, gives crit damage. And then the one that's fourth from the left, Captain America 2004, Defense Pierce. With the 2 set bonus of attack. Uh, these are all your offensive stats. Crit damage is hard to come by. You have the Vote for Lucky card, this Crossbones card, and there aren't very many others for the free to play people
You could also use Hydra Empire too. That like I'm
for attack
using. Yep.
bonus.
Yeah, one gives attack bonus. This card gives attack, and then this one gives crit damage.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Definitely get crit damage where you can, especially in Omega War. Even if they have crit damage decrease, that's the one guy has it, not everybody, right?
Yeah.
Now onto your costume.
For costume, I'm rocking a Hydra set,
Mm-hmm.
which gives attack and more attack as a set bonus.
Mm-hmm.
The
We
Espionage device skill +6 doesn't
mm-hmm.
matter that much.
Now we talked off screen about why you chose Hydra versus Sakaar, and the reason we came up with is Sakaar gives attack crit damage, where I did say a second ago get crit damage where you can, but that's for Omega cards. People can build crit damage decrease, so the double attack is your best highest stat, and you only have the automatic crit on one hit, whereas you have attack bonus on everything. And what about the best possible use? What was the
The
special set
best,
that you like?
yeah, the best costume that anyone would be, can get or not get would be Rise of the East,
Mm-hmm. Firearms expert,
because
deadly
it
aim.
gives, yeah, it gives everything you want. Like it has the highest base stats and boosts your deadly aim skills.
Mm-hmm. And then you Hydra and Sakaar for the regionals. And what about for the non-regionals?
For non-regional, you can get the this one right here. Oops, the spacesuit,
Mm-hmm.
which also is the expert +6,
Which is
which is
Trap Deluge, the big AoE.
Similar to Sakar. It's attack and crit damage, and trap expert skill +6.
All right, that sounds pretty good. What about tips and tricks for the viewers?
For tips and tricks in Omega War, you always want to. I will always try to go for the highest points rating guy because that
Mm-hmm.
determines if you win or lose the war. And do not take the crystals from your highest winning player.
When they need the crystals, you're right.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also if people are low, like one hit away, you could vanish and just basic auto them. That will kill them instantly, and they cannot react to it.
mm-hmm.
Whereas if you activate a skill, there's like a wind up time, and they could dodge it.
All right. Are there any characters you're watching out for? Any ones you have a hard time with? I think you were saying Spider-Man a minute ago.
Yeah, Mega War definitely watch out for Spider-Man. If he cocoons you, then you're just locked in there, and you'll be spamming your dodge and your vanish and try to get out.
You say you like to chase the point leader. Are there any point leaders you have trouble chasing?
Uh, Not really, because I use knee
The
dive
knee
and
dive.
yeah, and train assassin, so I just try to get close to them. And if they try to run away, then knee dive to get closer again. So
Mm-hmm. And how do you deal with people who fly really high in the air?
you could move your camera downwards to look at them, and you could knee dive towards them, or you could vanish and target them and use like concentrated fire and hit them from like a little bit further away.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for joining me, Saki.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
till next time, guys.